Hello and welcome back to another Objections. My name is Caleb Haig. I'm with Pronomian.com, and in these videos, what I do is I answer objections or critical objections to some of the work that I've done. And today we're just going to look at a comment. This is a fun one. And I guess let's just jump right into it. This person says, there was this chick on TikTok. This is, by the way, in response to my video on Hillel and Shammai. There was this chick on TikTok that thought the Roman Empire was made up. I don't know, man. Seems like a person who is just entertaining themselves. I mean, it kind of helps nothing on top of being ridiculous. I mean, is this because he prefers Protestant prayer books to Sidurs, and for some reason feels he has to try and justify it in a bizarro way or something? A little diversity in worship and prayer is good. We don't have to question the existence of Mark Antony because not everyone vibes with the kiddush. Okay, let's talk about this. So this person obviously has a idea of me in their head that is not quite accurate. I don't prefer Protestant prayer books to Jewish prayer books. However, I've done quite a bit of study in the Jewish prayer book itself. This person might not realize this, but there's actually 13 Jewish prayer books that the Hasids have claimed. They claim that there is a Jewish prayer book for each tribe, and that there is essentially magical power in saying the prayers for your tribe if you're in that tribe. But there's a problem. Nobody knows what tribe they're from. And so what they said was there's actually a 13th prayer book, and this is the one for anyone and everyone and the stranger and all those kind of things. And so this is the prayer book that we supposedly read out of today. Within the traditional Jewish prayer book, this isn't talking about Messianic prayer books per se, but within the traditional Jewish prayer book, there's a significant amount of Kabbalah that is placed into them, and this actually goes for prayers that are still standard prayers within Messianic prayer books. There's prayers against Christians that a lot of people don't realize are in there. And so what I started to become uneasy with was, since I don't know the history of a lot of these prayers and haven't studied them out completely, I became uncomfortable with man-made prayers because I didn't know if I was saying something in the prayer that maybe was created for magical purposes, and I didn't know if they were possibly secret codes against Christians, so on and so forth. And so I started to look for other prayer books. And in my quest to do that, I started looking at Protestant prayer books. So I think this person is right up until this point. What I quickly realized is that I cannot find a Protestant prayer book that does not rest heavily or incorporate the Common Book of Prayer. My family has deep Baptist roots, and many Baptists were actually put to the stake because they wouldn't pray the Common Book of Prayer. And so I was just as uncomfortable. And not only that, but let's just be honest, a lot of the Common Book of Prayer is just straight Catholicism, I believe. And so I was very uncomfortable, just as uncomfortable, if not more uncomfortable, praying the prayers out of the Protestant prayer book as I was praying out of the Jewish prayer book. And so I think that this person has maybe not understood the full progression of my study in this field. And so what did I do? Well, I thought to myself, boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be great if somebody just created a prayer book that was nothing but Scripture? Because that's what I want to pray. I want to pray Scripture. I don't want to pray man-made prayers. And so lo and behold, I couldn't find one, so I just made one. And this is the prayer book that I created. It is, it is what? Let's see here. 206 pages long. And in this prayer book, the person who wrote this comment might be interested to know, I would not consider this, many people would not consider this a Protestant prayer book, because I actually took all of the concepts of a Jewish prayer book and I made the same prayers just out of Scripture. So, for instance, there's a prayer before meals, prayer after meals, prayer for the sick, prayer for mourners, blessing for the new moon, evening prayers, Sabbath Eve prayers, Sabbath morning prayers, end of Sabbath service, circumcision service, Passover, counting the Omer, Pentecost, Day of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, Sukkot, the Festival of Booths. So clearly this is not your standard Protestant prayer book. By the way, I didn't write anything in here. Every single passage in here is from Scripture. There's not one thing that I wrote in this prayer book. This is just a compilation of prayer of biblical passages, and that's it. That's all this is. And it follows after the order of the Jewish prayer book more than any Christian prayer book at all. If you would like to purchase this, you can find it on Pronomian.com. All of this to say that the criticism that is found in this comment is simply just not true. The person, I don't think it's malicious. I just think that the person that wrote the comment might not be fully informed of the progression of my understanding of the prayer book. And so I do find great joy in liturgical prayer. I actually find great joy in the liturgical prayer that I grew up with, which was the prayer of the synagogues. I followed I had a Metsudah Siddur. That's a Siddur that I used on a daily Metsudah Siddur. For those who know what that is, I use that daily. And then I used the standard Messianic Siddur on Shabbat. And this is what I grew up with. So I'm very fond of those prayers. I like them very much. However, I was just very uncomfortable saying some of them for certain reasons. And this is why I wanted to pray nothing but Scripture. So I hope that clears that up for anyone who sees this. Maybe the person who made the comment will see this at some point and understand that I'm not praying Protestant prayer books. I'm praying a prayer book that I created, and it's nothing but Scripture. So if you'd like to find it, pronomian.com. Thanks a lot, guys.